For 15 minutes, Dr. Bukola Bojuwoye will be speaking to us. A round of applause as he comes forward. Thank you so much, Doctor. We appreciate you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. So it's a big thing for me to be here and sit amongst great men who have done things for Nigeria and are still doing things for Nigeria. So I'll start like this, starting on the existing protocol. Welcome, Senator. Bonjour, Monsieur. Ça va? Ricardo, we missed the days we see ourselves on the track, so welcome. Welcome, ma'am. Welcome, sir. Sponsor. You're welcome. Thank you very much. I have a problem. I don't just start talking. I'm going to say everybody please stand up. Let's just stretch ourselves. Because before you fall asleep, I would like to talk to you. So let's stand up. Let's talk about what is a bit. So have a good one. Stretch and just get yourself ready for the next 15 minutes. You just do it for like 60 seconds and you can sit down. All right, thank you very much. Let's have a seat. I don't think I can do this in 15 minutes. So I'm going to just talk about it and then we might be able to have an interactive session, maybe today or tomorrow if it's possible. But I'm going to just run through the slides. First of all, what are performance enhancing drugs? What do you think they are? Any suggestions? Do you know what performance enhancing drugs are?
Like cross the liver and anabolic level.
Thank you very much. Perfectly put. They're just drugs you use to improve your performance. You know you're not already there yet, but you just need something to help yourself up to move to the next level. And we all forget that to everything we take, there's always a reaction, an implication, and a side effect. And that's what we want to talk about. What are the side effects of doing this? Apart from all the other problems you face with WADA, with your international federations, even to your society. Because number one, to everybody intending on doing sports or doing anything that has to do with entertainment, by a role model. So Ricardo will tell you that he was saying something. I have to come to somewhere that is quiet and maintain my composure and what I need to do for the brand. Because the brand also promotes someone, and that's what you will become tomorrow. By the time you become a top boxer, you are going to be a brand. And so many people will come up to you, Nike, Adidas, might even offer you $1 million, but they will tell you how to live your life. Because there are certain things you cannot do. You cannot go to a super club anyhow, because as you are, there's somebody to there. You cannot be found there. So you need to know that being an athlete demands a lot from you, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Next page. Apart from anabolic steroids, we have what we call stimulants. Some of you might know them. We have Molly, LSD, we have Canadian, Loud, Ghana, we have all of them. A lot of us, there are so many social drugs that are banned in sports. And there are so many sports drugs that are becoming social drugs now. I see boys on the street who don't even do any weights, that's injecting themselves with steroids. They don't know why. But just next page. So these are the types. You have the anabolic steroids he was mentioning, that human growth hormone, erythropoietin. I'll give you an instance of it. Erythropoietin is what makes us get red cells in our blood. And it helps us carry oxygen to the lungs and to every part. So a lot of people, especially people who are doing endurance sports, especially cyclists marathoners, the best person that we can use to describe who has used this to the best level was Louis Armstrong. He was the top one who toured de France a few times, and he was caught up with this and had been banned for it. Stimulants, we talked about it. For some of us who are hypertensive, we use beta blockers. You find out maybe you go to club and you're doing that. The day you use this beta blocker before you get to the club, you see your hand is steady and you're just getting the point. So, but you have to let us know that you're hypertensive and the reasons why, so they're performance enhancing. For some of us, this is especially for boxers who do weights. There are two ways diuretics work. You want to use it to mask what you have taken, or you use it to quickly lose weight. You know what you do, African sauna, all those things, but you know you're a 64 kg person, and then you're 64 kg now, and you want to go to 56 fights, and you have not started planning it 6 months of a year before that, and you want to do it in a month. You quickly start using diuretics. It's bad for you, and it's a banned substance. Next page, please. I put here, I hope that they will send it to you guys later as soft copy so you can read how they work. Anabolic steroids, you see now it increases your muscle growth. That's why you see so many people, bodybuilders, bouncers, who have that kind of build. Most of them are using anabolic steroids. Human growth hormone also gives you the same thing. One of our girls who runs for Nigeria, Linky was discovered having using human growth hormone. Ectopoietin, I spoke about it. The stimulants, anabolic steroids, the beta blockers and diuretics, how they work. Effects of muscle growth, endurance, and recovery. You know that anabolic steroids might increase your muscle growth. But how EPO helps endurance, recovery. A lot of us believe that by the time you take the drug or the stimulant, you find yourself that you are sharper and you can go more doing the exercise. But you don't know that what you have done is that you're either increasing your heart rate, giving you some issues. The next thing you find yourself, you're hypertensive, you're tending towards having a stroke. Constant use. The short-term physical effect is that they can, as stimulants, caffeine, they make you alert, maintain the concentration level, allows the output to perform better. We talked about EPO. The effects is increase muscle size, enhance recovery and build muscles, which we have talked about. Next page. Reduces fatigue. Because you have used a stimulant, you can remember what you're doing and you just don't feel like you're feeling tired. Sometimes you may even look at somebody like that bigger than me and is a heavyweight and I'm flying with and I'll tell you like I'm beating. Because I have lost an euphoric idea of myself of that I'm bigger than it and I can beat it. So in long-term effects, this is the base. This is where I need to talk to you most. I don't need to talk about any other thing but this. Only this, if you know what I'm talking about. This is all. Anabolic steroids and some of the other things can cause you. This is physiological. That is psychological. You can see, for some male will quickly get bald, but women, you see them with beards and some things, not the ones that eat a lot of boo-boo from the east. You see a lot of women with that because it's boo-boo, it's so good at causing that. Gynecomastia, you see some men with breasts. You find some men who are using anabolic steroids, they have very tiny testicles. They may not even be able to have a child. Erectile dysfunction, you might use Giacomo and all those things, but you might not get out of it. Liver problems. You see some people moving around with big tummy, distended. Their liver is already giving out on them. And then all of a sudden you see them with yellow eyes. The liver has already started breaking down so many things and causing jaundice. Some people go into hypertension, we talked about it. Cardiac arrhythmias, we can go into heart attack, you can get a stroke. You can even get, because you are injecting yourself in the system, you can get other diseases. Diseases like HIV, hepatitis B, and so many other things. So you have to be very careful, and you need to do. Now, psychologically, dependence, addiction, depression. Lately, we are seeing a lot of people in Lagos going to jump into the Third Mainland Bridge. I'll be off the Third Mainland Bridge. Drowning. Even a top CEO, a billionaire, hung himself in it, or something happened to him in his house. So people are getting depressed. But I can tell you, exercise should help you get out of depression. So if you use something else to get you into depression, then you have your own problem to deal with. You have mood swings, decreased libido, paranoia. You know, there are some boxers in some time past that used to believe that somebody was chasing him. So anywhere he goes, he had bodyguard around him because he felt people were going to come and attack him. And in between one of those days, he punched somebody and the person died and he was thrown into jail. Euphoria. That's it. These are little things that, even in your house, if they know about this, they can notice you change. They will see it. So please, the only thing I can appeal to you, before you do anything in sports, or take anything into your mouth, see a doctor. There are special people who are called sports medicine doctors within the sports field. They'll be able to tell you what to take and what not to take. Every October 1st of a preceding year, World Anti-Doping Agency releases a prohibited list. Drugs you should not take. But it doesn't take effect until the 1st of January of that next year. So if you have a person that, I'll give you a short story. Maria Sharapova, as at the time before the Australian Open some years back, she was using a particular drug the year before. And you know Australian Open is January. So by October 1st of the preceding year, they had said that that drug she had been taking without no problems into the prohibited list. But by January, when she was at the Australian Open, she was tested and she was positive. And she said, I've been using this for a while. Why is it? She said, but go and check the prohibited list. She said that I didn't know, but your doctor should know and should have told you. So there are things you don't depend on if you don't know. I'll tell you what they used to tell us in medical school. The best doctor in this world is the doctor that knows his limits. If I don't know something, I will ask somebody else. If I don't know, send to the next specialist. If you don't know, send to the next person. Because if you keep to assume that you know, you may kill someone. So please, for yourself, if you are not sure, ask someone. You know that even penalties now affect coaches. If an athlete should say that a coach was the one that gave him the drugs, he is going to pay on ban too. And if he says the doctor that gave you the drugs, he is going to get a ban too. So there's nothing. And there are people that are going, it's the same thing that happens everywhere in the world, whistleblowers. If you know your friend is taking drugs, they are paying for them to know that you are taking drugs. Just take yourself. Take note. These are other pictures, pictorial things about the same thing I've talked about, just everything in one whole. Now, it's just the role of the integrity in sports. Why don't we want to use drugs? You have to uphold the sports, you have to addressing the ethical dilemmas, enhancing sportsmanship, preserving the spirit of the game, the role model of the sports society. I've talked about it already, it's just a pictorial thing. Next. These are also other things about sportsmanship. You understand that it's upholding the spirit of the game, which is also the same thing I said earlier. Next page. You heard I said something about bans and suspensions. Some people are banned 6 months, some people are banned a year, some people are banned 2 years, some people are banned 4 years. But now, they are taking the next step to tell you that they can even collect money that you have won from you. Marion Jones, after the Bukola experience, went back to test her urine in Sydney 2000. Mr. Mitchell, is it Sydney 2000? Yes. Where she was tested and backtracked it and found out she had been using the drug from 2000. So she was asked to pay back everything she had gotten from dad till the date she went to bankruptcy. So legal ramification. In some countries, if you are caught with a certain amount of dope drugs, you may be jailed. So take note. Nigeria has some, and that's why NDA is working around a lot of these. Next page. Social implications, you know what it means. Because you start taking it, it's a disgrace to you, your family, and to everybody. To the country, if you are an international athlete, to yourself, to people that believe in you, and people that see you as a role model. Alternatives, you know what I mean. You train harder, you eat better, and do better recovery. If you like, join the sports scientists, they will help you. Prevention and education. This is what we call education. The best way to get people to stop it is to educate people, and then they will stop. Hoping that they will stop. Next page. Conclusion, just a quote. He is saying, well, when I think of steroids, I think of an image. You have the advantage over someone, which is a form of cheating. I guess which wouldn't be right unless it is legal for everybody. The reason it's not legal for everybody is because it can hurt people seriously. That is a vandal. Thank you very much. For questions, you can always get in touch, and then we'll do questions later. Thank you.
Question.
Ladies and gentlemen, I think this particular topic would erupt a lot of questions, but I think it deserves a round of applause. Dr. Bukola, a round of applause for me, please. Thank you very much. Do we have questions, please? Right, we have one. Do you have another question? Do we have another question? We have one already. Okay, just to be sure. We're going to take that question and then we'll talk some more and then we'll take highlights.
Thank you very much. I don't believe I need to ask this question because of our coaches here. What's the implication of coaches that prevent their athletes from being tested or being tested for doping?
Is that an implication? If you have coaches who prevent athletes from being tested for doping?
Against all odds, the World Anti-Doping Agencies have released almost 9 to 10 adverse things that you can do wrong that can get you, your athletes, or anybody positive and a ban. There's one we call refusal to let your athlete come there, or your athlete not coming for the dope test. That's an implication that you have. And it's an indication that you get either legally suspended or banned. There's a list of things we should. If I had the chance, I would have gone through it here, but I had to do it because it's just a 15 minutes lecture. But there are things that you would do. Let me give you an example. If I come to you to notify you as an athlete that you are going to be tested, you have an hour of notification to get to the doping control station. Unless you have a press conference, or a medal presentation, we might overlook those. But if we don't get there in that 1 hour, it's an offense already. Someone like Rio Ferdinand, Manchester United, he was given a notification, he finished the football match, drove home, before he remembered they had been given a notification. He was banned for 6 months. So coaches are to direct and train. There's supposed to be other mentoring the athletes. So if you start fighting so that your athlete does not go, that means there's something you are hiding that the athlete has used that you know about. So it's an implication. So there's nobody, even if your coach is not there with you at the time they come and serve you, follow them. You can send someone to go and call your coach, get your accreditation, because they may not even wait for you to carry your bag. The only thing they notify you, and the next thing you have to provide them is your accreditation card. And the moment they confirm it is you are following. You might tell them, okay, I have a press conference. While you are doing your press conference, somebody is just giving you distance and is watching you because they don't want anything to happen that you go quickly to somewhere, go and pop some pills and disappear. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Well done. Absolutely well done. just hold on. Mr. Ake will be taking an island very soon. I think it's also important that I just mentioned this. You see this thing he said about they'll just come and call you. It is at random. Yeah. In football and in most sports, I'm not sure if it's the same in boxing, but it is at random. So they just see you. Maybe you don't even have to have played so much in the game or fought so much. They'll just call you, where are you? Come. So what will you now do when you've been doping? But I think the most, he listed a lot of physical and psychological effects. But Mr. Ricardo, I think the most painful one is the disgrace. There is nobody that has been disgraced in sports that ever made it back into sports. There's none. We can talk about it. There's nobody that has used drug enhancing that maybe WADA or maybe IAAF or maybe the boxing body or WBC will now say, you know what, come, let us give you a job. Because it's a total disgrace. You disgrace yourself, your family, your coaches, everybody that wanted to be like you will no longer want to be like you because you are no more a reference point. You are now a reference point for something bad. But if you watch that thing closely, if you can have it sent to your emails, there's a part where he said something about alternatives. So instead of using drugs, eat well, train, and follow your coach's rule. A round of applause again for Dr. Buki. You did very well, sir. Thank you. You want to add one more thing?
He said something. They will just come randomly to pick you. That was before. You can come to your house to come and take. Right? WADA has done it to the level that they have whereabout form from January 1st to December 31st. You have to write where you are. 8 a.m. I'm training. By 10, I'm in school, Yaba Tech. By 2, I'm eating lunch. I'm working with my printer. By 4, I'm going to training. 6, I'm home. Dinner, 8 o'clock, I'm in bed. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock, training. That's going to put it all through for a whole year. If you are traveling out of the state and you didn't indicate it, you have 48 hours to have done it before you travel. A lot of your senior athletes who are here will tell you, I've been to some people's homes in Lagos, in Bariga, in Oshodi, just to test. So there's no running away anymore. It's not there's no competition while you're testing you. They don't even want you to use it when there's no competition. And they will come to you too in competition. So be ready, be prepared for the future. Because the moment you choose the sports, it's no more your life, it is our life.